There are 4 ingredients in the beer making process. There's the water, there's the yeast, there's the hops, and as we know, hops gets all the attention, but here at Pilot Malt House and Byron Center, it's the grains that gets all the love. Let's go out on the production floor and check it out. The man who embraces the grain is Erik May, also known as El Jefe here at Pilot House Malt. Take me through the process. The barley comes in, and then there's a process called malting.
Yeah, so that's what we do. That's our MO. We buy barley, a little bit of wheat, and a little bit of rye as well, a few other specialty grains. And it comes in the back door, and we malt 1 ton at a time for a week-long process. Basically, we're trying to install the sugars, create the sugars that later create the alcohol. And the color from a beer comes from the malt as well. But yeah, through a week-long process, we bring it along and basically make it want to grow, make it grow, and then we kill it when we're done with it. And yeah.
So it comes in these giant bags, right?
Yep. Yeah, super sacks. Yep.
So they're in the super sacks, and from the super sacks, they go where?
Into the hopper. So there's spouts on the bottom. We auger up into one of our 4 steep tanks, which are literally brewery tanks. One thing we found out pretty quick is that there was no such thing as malting equipment, so we built some, repurposed some brewery tanks. We basically, what you hear right now in the background is the whistle of compressed air and water and grain to make sure it doesn't compact. Sits in there for 48 hours, and that's where we make it want to grow. Then we move it into some germination boxes that we actually make it grow over, like I said, a set period of time. That varies based on weather, and that sort of sprouts, and that's where the enzymes are active enough that they're creating later create the sugars that create the alcohol. And then from there, we go into a kiln, which is just a 10 by 10 convection oven. That's where the flavor, that we were dried off primarily, so we kill the kernels themselves. And then the last period is really where the flavors and the color come from, and that's kind of where we come in at our scale. That we install flavors and aromas that may not exist in some cases, or at least our own spin on it, kind of like a brewery does, really. Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you kind of inject those flavors?
It's all a function of temperature and airflow. And the first, we make a malt called PB Toast, peanut butter toast. That the first time it happened, the kiln was malfunctioning, and the heat curve was up and down. Every time I got to a certain point, it shut off. And I had a brother-in-law walked in here and said, "It smells like peanut butter." And I was kind of like, that's gimmicky enough. That might be, and then we had to recreate it. But that's just temperature and airflow, and we were able to recreate it, and that's one of our biggest sellers. It's our first venture into kind of our own malt, and truly our own. So yeah, it's just through our process, and we listen to what the grain says, just like a brewer would tell you. You listen to what the beer's telling you, and same thing with us. We listen and smell and taste and watch it and duplicate it.
So for all of you beer drinkers out there, it's guys like Erik who bring you a little sweetness and the beautiful color of your beer. Erik,
yeah,
great meeting you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
And how many are we this evening, the Draught viewers? Coming up next on the Draught, herbal brewing. We'll check it out only at City Built in Grand Rapids.